Welcome back to class. Is this English class or magic class? Movie making magic class. It's English class. We're going to do the vocabulary again today because you always need to review and you need to practice your pronunciation. How do you say the word? How do you pronounce the word? But are we going to have any magic today? Let's see one. Tell me if you like this one. Ready? Was that a good magic trick? I think so. I think it was a cool trick. But was it a special effect or just an edit? Did I use a sticker to put a fake watch? No, I didn't. Did I just cut the video with the watch on and then off? Yes. So it's just cutting. So is it a special effect or is it just editing? It's just editing. But it was good editing, right? Did you say no? Come on, it was good. Now, we're going to review the vocabulary now, but later we'll have some good editing and special effects, and we'll see which ones you like, okay? Do you like the slow motion? Or do you like the fast forward? Which effect do you like? You've seen them you've seen them both before, but I'm going to show you a different one, and it will be the same action, the same activity, and you tell me, do you like it better super fast or super slow? Okay? Take out your vocabulary. Okay, we're back with the vocabulary. We're on number 16, but first let's zoom in. Zoom. Okay, number 16, culture. I think you remember culture. We talked about it a lot in the last unit. I think unit 8. But let's see if you remember this. What was the difference between culture and society? Remember your class your class social studies? Remember, society is how you treat other people. What do you do with your friends? When you are waiting in line at 7-Eleven, are you rude? If there's an old person in front of you and they're going slow, do you yell at them? Hey, go faster, grandfather, you dinosaur. If you do that, this is a bad society. But I think Taiwan's a very good society. But what about culture? Culture is about holidays, celebrations, things like that. Remember, the difference between China and Taiwan is not culture. It's kind of the same culture. But society is very different. The people in Taiwan are nice. That makes a great society. But this is Chinese culture. Okay, let's move on. Planetarium. Do you remember my beautiful planetarium pictures from our class last week? Or maybe that was our first class. I can't remember. Our first YouTube class. Do you remember? This is the part of the museum when you go look at the stars. You see what the planet sees when Earth looks out into space. It's a beautiful part of the museum. I think you've probably seen one before. So let's just talk about how to say the word and how to remember to spell the word. I think you can spell planet, but you just have to remember Arium. But really, it should be easy because you just say it slowly. Planetarium. I think it's spelled the way you think it is. A-R, air, I-U-M, E-U-M. Should be pretty easy. I know it's a long word, but you can remember this one. Now, here's a word, history. Pretty easy. It looks like his, H-I-S, and then story, S-T-O-R-Y. Just don't write the S 2 times. Very easy to spell. And you know what this means. It means the past. But if I drop my pencil, I don't say drop, I say dropped. Past tense, because it's already over. It's in the past. Is that history? Well, yes, it is. But we don't say history for something that just happened. Do you remember this word? Ancient? Remember that was on one of your oral tests? The teacher is ancient. When we talked about our senses. Ancient history. Well, that means something that was a long time ago, 5,000 years ago, when they made the pyramids. But here's another way you can use the word history. Do people have history? And I don't mean everybody on earth. I mean you and me. Was I your teacher in 2nd grade? Yes. So we have a history together. You and your family have a history. Your mom took care of you when you were a baby. You have a history with her. And there's a family history that goes back to your grandfather, your great-grandmother, your great-great-great-great-grandparents. That's a family history. Okay, pretty easy, and I think easy to spell. Turkey. Please look at the first letter. Is it capital? Yes. So that means it's not a bird. It's not an animal. It's not something you eat for a holiday dinner. It's a country. Now, don't just look at the Chinese word for turkey. Answer this. Do you know what and where Turkey is? Let's take a look at Turkey. Let's take a look at this map. Do you see America? No, you cannot see North America or South America or Antarctica. You can only see 2 places, Europe and Asia. Oh, I think I see Taiwan, but maybe I drew the circle on top. I'm so sorry, Taiwan. And maybe we see a little bit of Africa, but let's get rid of Africa. Bye-bye. So, this is Europe and Asia. Do you think we can take those 2 words and make a hybrid? Yes, we can. Eurasia. Now, let's erase this. Bye-bye, circles. Hey, there's Taiwan again. Now, where is Turkey? Is it in Europe or is it in Asia? The answer is both. It's right here. It's like a bridge from Europe to Asia, or a bridge from Asia to Europe. So, part of the country is in Asia and part of it is in Europe. Let's look at another map a little closer. So, here's a closer look. You can see Europe over here and Asia over here. And look, does it look like a bridge? Yes. So what do you think this country's nickname is? Do you think they call themselves the turkey like the bird? No, only babies like you make that joke. They call themselves the bridge. So, is it cool? Yeah, I think so. It's a beautiful place. I hope you can visit someday. Hey, was that very exciting? Yes. Now you know a lot about Turkey. I have been there. I can show you some pictures and videos. But not this time. Another class, maybe. Number 20, theater. Now, this is a word that's hard to spell. It looks like the, at, or eight, are. Do you know what this is? This is a movie house. Is it okay to say movie house? Not really. You should say theater. But try to remember the ER, because some people, teacher Paul, some people in the UK will spell it differently. But the way we spell it in America is ER, and that's what's on your test. So that's what you need to do. Just try to remember it's her, Her, her theater. Now, what do we do at the movie theater? We watch movies. We go to the movies at the theater. Is this easy? I think it's easy to say. Your pronunciation is good. Theater. But maybe you'll have a hard time spelling this one, so please practice, okay? Come back to this one. You can pause the video and rewind and then hear me say it again, theater, and practice spelling it. If you don't know this word, you're going to make your teacher cry. Do you want me to cry? You better not say yes. This was on your oral test last year. Do you remember oral test number 5 with all my beautiful drawings of the minions? We said, what does your father do? He's an athlete. Where does he work? He works in a stadium. Say the word slowly first. Stadium. That's 3 syllables. Stadium. And now say it fast. Stadium. It should be easy to spell if you remember how to say it, because S-T-A, stay. D-I-D. U-M, stadium. There's nothing hard about spelling this word if you remember how to say it properly. Oh God, here's another one from your oral test last year, oral test number 6. If you don't remember Egypt, your teacher will cry. Do you want me to cry again? Oh, I hope you said no. Egypt. We remember Egypt. Can you still recite my favorite city? I want to ride a mummy and fight a camel. Wait, is that it? Yeah, whatever. I don't remember. That was a long time ago. You remember Egypt. You remember they have the pyramids, the Sphinx. Remember the Sphinx. It has the body of a lion and the face of a handsome boy. Okay. This one is not easy to spell. You should remember the first letter E because the name Egypt. But just try to remember the GYP. Just think, JIP. It can only be GIP or GYP. And just remember there's a Y. And then don't forget your T. Egypt. Baseball. We don't need to spend too long here. We already spent time on basketball, volleyball, and soccer. But just remember, baseball is the sport, and it's the ball. You don't say a baseball ball. You just say a baseball. Nuts. I think everyone knows what nuts are. Do we like peanut butter? Yes, we love peanut butter. And where does it come from? It comes from peanuts. You know, peanuts. But there are many, many kinds of nuts. So we're not going to spend too long on them because it looks like a very easy word to spell. So you don't need any help for that. Okay, we're taking a break from the vocabulary. Get your coffee. It's a coffee break. Why are we taking a break? Because you need to learn a word, span. S-P-A-N. Putting my coffee down. What does span mean? It's a period of time. Remember, there can be a span of time that's 1 year, a span of time can be 100 years, or a span of time can be very fast. 1 minute, 1 second. Now, can you pay attention all day long when we have class? Do you pay attention from the opening bell to the closing bell? Probably not. That's called your attention span. Some people have a short attention span. You're playing with your phone, you talk to your friend, you talk to your mom, and then you're back to your phone. You didn't pay attention because you have a short attention span, and then you go back to the phone. It's very bad. You don't want a short attention span. But I understand some people do, so we're taking a break from the vocabulary and coming back to the magic. Now, I told you we're going to do fast forward and slow motion. And you tell me which edit you prefer. Do you remember prefer? Was it your vocabulary word? Now, I am very good at speaking Spanish. Do you remember? Uno jalapeno, uno agua, and uno baño. Do you remember we rolled the R? Roll the letter R in Spanish. So, let's say a word, paper. Paper. Can you roll your R? Yes, many of you can roll your R's. But can you roll the letter P? P, papa, paper. How do you roll the letter P? It's very easy. Paper. Can you do that? Maybe yes, I think. But is it better to roll the P in fast forward or slow motion? Ready? I'm going to come closer to the camera. I'm going to roll my P. Ready? Now let's watch it again in fast forward. Pretty cool. Now let's watch it in slow motion. Was that cool? Yes, it was very cool. It was very cool. Which one did you prefer? Did you prefer the fast forward or the slow motion? What about this video? At the beginning of the video, you could see coffee. It was pouring very fast. I put the video in fast forward. Why? Because it looks cool going fast. Now, because you have a short attention span, so I could only show it for a few seconds. Because you'll get bored if you look at the same thing for more than 10 seconds. Are you bored now? Are you bored looking at me? Is it because I'm boring? Or because you have a short attention span? You're lucky we're finished with class because I think your attention span is over.
Goodbye.